Right.
So when you hit your database with a piece of mail with a good offer of why someone should hire you, you get a good Reconnect message out, and you do a Facebook ad, Brian, I can 100%, I mean, without question, guarantee that will generate new business for somebody. Hey there, it's Frank Klesitz with Viral Marketing. I'm here with Brian, and thanks for watching this video. We're going to share with you some quick tips to reconnect with your neglected database today. So if you haven't been staying in touch with your past clients, your centers of influence, more specifically, let's say all the people in your Gmail contacts, Outlook contacts, maybe all the past clients in your CRM, maybe your broker has them, you don't even have their contacts, those kind of information. You know, all those people you've communicated with all over these years, maybe you haven't been staying in touch with those people like you should have been because times were good. Unlike now, they're becoming more uncertain because leads are coming in, now they're drying up. So you're kind of stuck. What do? Do you go spend more money to buy more leads, or do you kind of look inward to your database to see if there's some business there? And we both know the answer. It's probably looking into your database to see what's there. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So you're going to join Brian and I as we have a discussion. This is a video for a real estate professional that says, look, I got to do a better job with my touch plan. I got to round up my list. I got to communicate with these people. I got to let them know that you're still selling real estate, that you're not a secret agent is the joke in the industry. You don't want to be a secret agent, right, Brian?
No, not if the intent is to succeed. It's probably not a good idea.
Right. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So Brian, thanks so much. Let's just have a discussion. What do people want to know?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that we're doing at our coaching company, all of our coaches with our clients right now, is we are really trying, because of this whole coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic, it's kind of shifted a whole lot of people's lives and routines and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's upsetting a lot of lead sources as well too, and it's forcing real estate professionals to pivot their business and make some changes. And what's interesting is exactly what you said, Frank. We're going back to the basics in a lot of ways. There's so many bright and shiny things out there that we can do as real estate agents generally to generate business. But the fact of the matter is this: every year, the National Association of Realtors, I mean, at least for the past 30 years since I've been doing it, has produced a survey of home buyers and home sellers. And in that survey, they have always shown between 78 to 82% of all people that purchase a residential home, 80% of them use an agent that they knew or that someone they knew referred to them. Okay, so that means, so I've always used the term, I've rounded the 78 to 82% to 80%. That means 80% of all transactions are done within your sphere of influence. Either they're using you or they're referring someone to you. And what's so interesting out there is so many people get caught up in the bright and the shiny and the different, and they're going for the 20%, that small 20% that makes up, it's all things we coach because they're good lead generation activities, but they're people we don't know. They're people that aren't in my Gmail contacts. They're people that I'm not friends with on Facebook. They're people that we don't know yet. So they're going after the unknown. They're going after online leads that they're buying. They're going after expired listings, for sale by owners, circle prospecting, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And there's tons of those. And those all work as lead generation systems. And like I said, we coach them, we train them. However, we don't ever suggest that you do those things in lieu of your SOI. We suggest we do those activities in addition to the core foundation of your business, which should be the development, growth, and cultivation of your sphere of influence, right? And it's okay if you get away from it. We all do. They will become neglected if you do that. And then we just need to re-engage with those people. And now's a wonderful time for that, because here we are in the COVID-19 crisis. And we're forced to get back to the basics that work. We're getting back to the basics that produce 80% of the real estate transactions through realtors every single year. So why not go for where all the business is? It's in your database. So rather than going around and trying to look for all the other cool ways to generate business because, oh my goodness, the world's turned upside down. Believe it or not, the answer is right up the middle. It's let's go with our SOI and let's do what we've told ourselves for some reason we're not going to do. So a lot of ways to do this, that's for sure. There's a gazillion different ways to re-engage, but I'll tell you, probably the most effective way is the least sexy way, and that would be just picking up a phone call and reaching out to some of your past clients from the last 2 or 3 years, depending on how much business you do, and just saying, hey, it's shocking to reach out and say, hey, it's Brian Icenhower. I was just checking in with you to see how you're doing. Is there anything I can do for you? I mean, I have no agenda. I am not trying to sell them anything. I am just trying to re-engage, and I'm coming from contribution and just showing them that I care right now. And guess what? They're probably going to answer, because a lot of people are answering phones right now, and you're just coming from contribution to see if there's anything you can do. And it's really simple. And quite frankly, doing that and repeating that similar mindset via digital content and email, in a video email, on social media, through a Facebook Live or through a direct message with video, just duplicating that message in multiple different digital channels will work. And we're not trying with your SOI, right? So these people may or may not want to sell real estate right now. So we're not trying to alienate ourselves from these people. We're really trying to help. And right now it really means something genuinely if you check in on them. And I said, start with your past clients because heck, these are people you just sold a house to. Checking in with them to make sure they're okay is a very normal thing. It's expected in business. So if you're just to check in and say, is there anything I can do for you, anything you need, you will be shocked with the answers you'll get right now. Because oftentimes they do need you or they need your expertise. For most people, their home is their most valuable asset they've got, and it's also their biggest liability they've got. And I don't care who you are, in light of all the economic fallout from the coronavirus, you've thought about your finances. I don't care who you are. Like, you've thought. I know, Frank, you've thought it. I've thought it. Like, I'm like,
Nice.
hey, am I okay? Like, I want to shore up the boundaries and make sure everything's all right. And for most people, their personal residence is the biggest chunk of those finances. So they may have questions about it, like, how much equity do I have? Do I need to cash out with one of my investment properties? Would it be good to clear up some cash right now? Can I defer my payment? I've been hearing that you could defer your payments, or you could get your payments get forbearance on your payments. There's a lot of questions that we have access to, at least the answers to, that they're going to ask us about in all likelihood. And if not, no big deal. They may just be at home and they want to get some work done in their house. Well, we as real estate professionals can hopefully give them some references there that could get some of that work done in their house. So we have all these things to offer. And if we have nothing to offer at all because they don't need it, that's fine too. At least we checked in. So to me, it's a minimum level of customer service to check in with your past clients and make sure they're okay, especially right now. Is that a long answer to a short?
No, it's a good answer. I want to share something. The New York Times put out an article on, I just called to say the phone call is back.
Yeah.
And we need that now.
That's great. I like that. Yeah. I want that, actually.
Yeah, if you just Google the phone call is back, you're going to see all these news outlets talking about why everyone wants a phone call now.
Yeah, it is weird. Like, I had an old coaching client of mine who is still a coach with he coaches with one of my other coaches, but I haven't spoken to him probably in 4 or 5 years. And he reached out to me out of nowhere and just said, hey man, I want to check in and see how you're doing. And I was like, I'm fine. And it was weird. And after I hung up, we talked for a bit and caught up. And afterwards I hung up, I go, man, that was really cool. Like, and normally, if any of you out there know me, you're thinking, oh man, that wasn't cool. Like, I'm on the phone all the time. But it felt good for some reason at this time when we all kind of feel alone, isolated, and uncertain, to have people that reach out, even though it does take your time. We've got more time than normal right now. It just made me feel really good that the guy reached out to me. So I think there's we are all connected as a community in some way, and we have been forcibly disconnected as of late. So people, as humans, we are social beings, and if you're actually purposely reaching out and trying to reconnect, now more than ever, it really has a substantial positive impact on the people you're connecting with, and it creates a lot of goodwill for them towards you when you do it. So you're right. I mean, I think so. That's the first thing. Like if you don't know what to do, I'd get a list of all of my closings from the last 3 years, and I'd go back and I'd call them all, right? And then what I would probably do is I would probably call every single one of my closest members in my sphere of influence or SOI database that are my strongest advocates or my A+ members, my top people. And I would just call and check in on them, right? Yeah. That would be my very first thing. And if it's someone that's really neglected, like you initially asked, I think now is the best time to pick up the phone and call them. And you'll be shocked if you just start up with, hey man, I was thinking about you, and shame on me for not reaching out earlier, but I thought no better time than now. I just want to check in with you and see how you're doing. And it's a simple I call it the shame on me script, where you just kind of say, hey, shame on me. Because you're hesitant to call them because you haven't called them in so long. So just kind of own it, and you'll see every single time they're just as appreciative as everybody else. Just as appreciative as everybody else. And it revives them, right?
Yep.
And now you've really set yourself up to maintain that level of communication. And Frank, that's what you're such an expert at. And we lean on your expertise heavily there on, how we stay in contact through a lot of digital sources, right? So that we're not annoying, right? We're adding value. Yeah. We're staying in front of them through video, through email, through social media, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And maintaining that level, because we can't call everybody every single day. We have to diversify those communication channels without offending. And I think that's so crucial. What are you telling people right now, Frank? I'm curious about you.
Yeah, I would like to add the marketing to what Brian's saying here. Is Brian's saying pick up the phone and start calling. I'm saying that too, but I can maybe use marketing to whittle down maybe who you should be calling, as opposed to maybe just kind of picking some random names. Let me show you. So if you send it, let's say, Brian, someone's working with you and maybe they have an email newsletter they haven't really done much with, or maybe they have some contacts in their phone, or they got some email lists laying around they've kind of accumulated over the years. You should probably, bring all that into one, and you kind of just copy it all into one Excel spreadsheet. It takes some time. That's what you do. And then you can run those emails, because some of them are probably pretty old, through an email scrubbing service. We use Never Bounce at Viral, or let's say you got a couple thousand emails on this list for whatever reason. It could be a couple hundred, whatever. The sizes are completely irrelevant. But, it'll actually remove any of the emails that aren't deliverable on Bounce. So those scrubbing services do that. And then you take all those contacts and you upload them to an email marketing program. Constant Contact, could be anything. We use at Viral Emma. It's just a different email marketing program. It's our tool, but I'll show this to you. This is an email marketing account. And you could see on here everyone who opens the email, everyone who clicks through, people who opt out. And in fact, if I scroll down further, you can actually see what links in the email they click. And when you send an email out, you can kind of watch your results roll in, so to speak. Isn't that cool?
That is, yeah.
And they actually have an app. I don't think I have it on here, but there's an app that you can download that when you send an email out, it actually in real time will update on your phone of like who's opening and who's engaging.
Have you seen the Constant Contact commercial on television about this? Where it's hilarious. I mean, I couldn't believe when I saw it, because it really is accurate. There's these 2 guys or 3 guys, they work at like a landscaping company. And they're all like, is it Friday yet? Is it Friday yet? Or something. And they're all kind of gathering around, and they hurry up to go see the results from their mass email. and they go into constant contact and they see how many opens, what's their click rate, their bounce rate, all that kind of stuff, right?
Oh, that's why they were really excited for Friday.
It's a bunch of landscapers, right? and then one of them like comes in late and he gets all mad because they looked at the results without him, you know.
Oh, that's funny.
But I got the feeling, because when you just showed me that on your screen,
I'll show it again.
That's the feeling you get. Like, it's so cool to track your numbers from your marketing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you actually get this, and you can actually work on them and improve them, and then you start to learn what type of content and what type of, you know, calls to action and what type of subject lines get responses. You know.
Let's see if we could read this. I mean, this is on their website, but it's kind of small. But it says they sent 15,000 emails, of which 2,200 people actually opened them. But even more important, 257 of the 15,000 clicked some link to engage with you.
Yeah.
Got it? So instead of looking at your list of 15,000, yeah. Got it?
Now we just call them. Right.
Now we have 257.
Yeah, that's manageable.
That's manageable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what marketing's supposed to do, is kind of divide the who's interested and who's not out, right?
Yep.
And
those calls are warm now.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
They probably saw your name, you know what I mean?
They did. I guarantee they did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because they engage with the email. And then I would probably start by calling some of those people.
Right.
Saying, again, same exact script, how can I help you? But at least they're going to be a little more re-engaged.
Yeah.
And there's templates and things you can send out that are very warm and heartfelt.
That's a great way to to even grow your sphere of influence, right? So, because that's, I mean, we always talk about cultivating and contacting it, but like, if we did that with our, Gmail contacts or our phone contacts, all of those people may not be in our sphere of influence, right? Like, just because we have their contact information or we've communicated them by email.
So they might engage, and now they are.
Right, and now we get 257 of them. And then we call them, or we email them, like you said, and then we call them, and then we engage, and all of a sudden, okay, now we're actually cultivating, that we're actually growing our sphere of influence, because we're finally going back through all our communications and filtering them out. Because it's really important we don't just contact ourselves, we always got to be growing it. We always got to make it bigger. There's no doubt. So that's a great way to do that as well too. I love that. I haven't looked at our email marketing stats in a long time, but I know we do. I know I don't.
It's helpful if you have an app on your phone. So if you have a little app on that, it's kind of cool. So if you're watching this and you're saying, I want to reconnect, get on the phone. But hey, maybe I should round up all these emails and get a warm, heartfelt reconnect message out and work the responses. Hey, got something. Let me give you another one too.
I like it.
So all those emails, let's say you grab all that contact information from your database or databases or leads or whatever you have, and we get a kind of reconnect message out, and you call the people that are clicking and engaging. Makes a lot of sense. But you can also take that list and you can upload it to Facebook. All right. And if an email or a phone number in that email list in that same list that you mailed to that same spreadsheet matches with a user account, meaning the email in there matches with the email you used on your Facebook profile, or it's the phone number in your Facebook profile, you can run ads to those people.
Yep.
And one of the most effective ads working right now, if I'd be okay, I'd like to show you, is just a simple messenger ad. Let me show this to you guys. So here's a simple ad. Let me see if I can reformat so it's a little bit better for your screen. That should look a little better, right?
Yep.
So check this out. Need to sell your area home? Well, I got buyers. I could sell it safely too. Virtual consultations, 360 tours, virtual showings, no person-to-person contact, message me. I'm available to chat with you for an ideal listing asking price or to get you an instant offer now to skip the showings. Some of you may be able to offer that. If you can't offer that, leave it out, but you get the gist.
Sure.
And then when people scroll down, it clicks send message. And what happens is they just start messaging you on Facebook. Let me actually show you a live version of this. And remember, this only maybe costs like $5 a day, just showing it to the people in your existing database. So someone's scrolling down, they're seeing all this stuff. They come across your ad, here's you, and they're going, wow, this is a helpful realtor. Let me click this. And you see how this pops up right in Facebook?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Right there. People start chatting with you. And that's one of the ways you can get your database engaging with you through a messenger ad, in addition to engaging maybe through some email communication.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this is one of the neatest innovations of Facebook. I mean, to me, Facebook for realtors really went next level when we were able to upload data and target. That changed everything, in my opinion. Because now, I mean, now we can do it just like you said with your sphere of influence. I mean, a lot of the agents we coach will farm geographic neighborhoods. So we have databases for them too. Well, now all of a sudden we can upload an entire neighborhood and target to people that only live in that area with information that only people in that area would really need to really create a hyper-local, highly relevant message to them. You know what I mean? So I think it's a beautiful, no matter what type of database we're talking about, whether it's an SOI database, a neighborhood database, a farming database, what have you, we can really target in a very direct way. I mean, and imagine if all those people saw you in that ad, and they already saw the email that you sent.
We got one more too. We got direct mail too. So look, you have this list, you have this spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Let's hit them with email.
Yep.
And then maybe filter our calls that way. So it's calls, email, Facebook.
3. Right, you're everywhere all of a sudden.
But I'll tell you, but I'll tell you, look, if you go into your email metrics, Brian, I mean, you'll be lucky to get like a 30% open rate.
Right.
You know, and you probably won't reach everyone on Facebook, but maybe if you were diligent, you also collected mailing addresses of some of these people.
Sure.
At least if you sold them a house, hopefully you have their address.
Oh, hopefully that's, I mean, we get emails, phone calls, names,
hopefully have some mailing address.
Their mailing address, that's the easiest one to get.
Here's what you do. You also want to send out a simple 4x6 postcard. So when you want to reconnect with your list, you get an email out, you call the people engaging, you upload the list to Facebook, you make a simple ad. $5 a day will get you the messages that you want. It's a small audience of the right people. And then for everyone you have mailing addresses for, you send out a nice little simple 4x6 postcard like this. It'll cost anywhere from 40 to 50 cents a postcard, depending upon volume. Maybe you have one of your latest videos on your blog here on the front, right? And then on the back, you put an offer here, like I'll get you an offer on your home, or get an instant offer on your home, or free home buying or selling call, and you have a really good message. I have it blurred out there because these are really powerful and really personalized, but about why in the world anyone in their right mind would call and hire you as a realtor.
Right.
And you want an answer for that. And then you hit your database with a piece of mail.
Right.
So when you hit your database with a piece of mail with a good offer of why someone should hire you, you get a good reconnect message out, and you do a Facebook ad. Brian, I can 100%, I mean, without question, guarantee that will generate new business for somebody.
Oh yeah, with a big enough number for certain. And I mean, when you hit that, when you target through every channel like that, they start to lose track. It's almost like at the end of that, they're definitely they're an SOI member at least too. I mean, you make it not just get business right now. There's a whole bunch of people now that you've done this through that you're, I mean, you are branded in their head. You know what I'm saying? And so long as we stay in contact with them going forward, you've grown your sphere of influence by that much. So there's short-term business, and then there's big long-term business potential there too, which probably is even bigger, you know?
Yep. That's how you reconnect, and then going forward, you do things to stay in touch, but we won't get into that. But that's kind of like this is how you reconnect with your list. You learned it all today.
Yeah, I love it. That's great. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, I like it. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate it.
There you go, man. Anything else?
I think that's enough focus for people right now. I think they've got that's the one thing I don't want to do. We give them anything more than that, they're going to start doing the other stuff. Yeah. It starts with the foundation. Once that's done, we will give them another video. How's that?
Sounds good. I want to thank everyone so much for watching. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Frank.